What's going on, guys? It's your boy, John the Liquidator, coming back with another video. And it looked like Paige Bueckers has officially made history. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Connecticut. Let's get it. Let's go. One player that is definitely making headlines is Paige Bueckers, bruh. She has officially got her new shoe. She playing ball overseas, and her team is hotter than fish grease. Now, a lot of things has transpired with the young superstar within the last 24 hours. Her shoe was announced, and the attendance for her overseas games has been released. Now, that, my friends, is definitely turning heads. And before we get into the history making, we gotta talk about that damn attendance. Let's pull it up right now. So, word on the street is that UConn game that took place in the Bahamas only had 567 fans in attendance. Now, a lot of people was trying to say that is very low. We got to remember, man, this game was definitely overseas. One commenter said, I wouldn't take too much into the Bahamas games. That's a silly location to have games, but in general, USC attendance ain't great, and UConn historically have had high attendance because their college supports their own teams on the road. But when it comes to that Bahamas game, man, it pretty much is what it is. Moving on to another story that is Paige Bueckers making history. Now, the other day, I reported on her shoe coming out, and it looked like that is definitely a historic moment. An article has been released breaking down everything. It's being reported that Paige Bueckers has made history as the first college basketball player to debut her own sneaker line, a feat even Caitlin Clark didn't achieve. The 23-year-old UConn sensation has been making waves in the collegiate game, assuming numerous awards over the past 4 years and offering fans a sneak peek of what to anticipate from the point guard when she eventually steps into the WNBA. Now, we know that Dallas won that lottery draft. One thing I can tell you guys for sure is that when it's all said and done, Dallas going to get the number one pick. Will it be Paige Bueckers? As of right now, we don't know. Because just like I keep telling y'all, word on the street is that Gino Auriemma want her to stay in college. And why does it keep Paige Bueckers, from what I'm hearing, do not want to be in Dallas? She actually want to go to L.A., which is Hollywood. Now, the article goes on to say, owing to her stellar performance, Bueckers is predicted to be the top pick of the 2025 draft, with the Dallas Wings having that pick. Now, Paige Bueckers' shoe was actually slated for release for December the 7th, 2024. And just like I reported the other day, the price of that shoe will be $190. The sneaker is a groundbreaking, as no other college basketball star has ever launched a signature shoe while being in college. Sneakers are stunning blue with purple trim, carry on personal message for Bueckers on the tongue. One size showcase and artistic featuring the number 816 across the tongue. Also coming down is 612. So as you guys can see right here, this is the signature shoe for Paige Bueckers. I'm telling you right now, fans is definitely up in arms about all of this. With Paige having a signature shoe, Caitlin Clark already being in the WNBA, we have not heard anything about her shoe. Fans is definitely pissed off that Paige's shoe is set to come out well before Caitlin's shoe is. Now, just like I told y'all, bro, Caitlin Nike deal was so jacked up. Everybody see 28 million and just think, oh my God, she just hit the lottery. No. Caitlin was supposed to get way more money than that. She was supposed to get a way better deal than that. And I believe somebody in the higher-ups called Caitlin Clark and told her, you know what? Your deal is off, girl. You need to go back to the drawing board and get you another deal. Now, moving on to the last and final story, that is Maria Rose dropping this TikTok video about Paige Bueckers that has set the nation on fire. With all that being said, I'm done talking, dog. Road footage.
Personally liked person in sports. If you're into basketball, you know her as Paige Bueckers. She was basically Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark. But if you don't know basketball, you've probably seen all of the edits of her talking about her aura, seen her at Fashion Week and stuff. but I think everyone needs to hear her story. So in October 2001, Paige Buckets was born, and she started playing basketball at just 5 years old, coached by her father, Bob, who was also a point guard back in the day. Fun fact, she was also a little league catcher, and she played football and soccer, but she loved basketball. By 7th grade, she was already playing with high schoolers, and by 8th grade, she was already on the varsity team. And then by her senior year, she was the first female high school player to be on the cover of Slam magazine and the #1 recruit in the country. She committed to UConn, and the hype was real. Analysts called her the most talked about recruit since Breanna Stewart. And she delivered, having a legendary freshman season, racking up awards left and right, including the ESPY for Best Female College Athlete, where she used her speech at just 19 years old to honor Black women. You see, Paige's parents divorced when she was just 3 years old and later remarried and had more children. Her mother moved to Montana while she stayed in Minnesota with her father. So her vocal support for the Black Lives Matter movement is very personal, as her half-brother Drew is half Black. After what happened to George Floyd, I don't want to go into too much detail because I want my video to get taken down, but she participated in marches and protests, bringing the same passion she brings on the court to her advocacy. Now, the hype was high about Paige Bueckers, and then we stopped hearing her name as much because she had a bunch of struggles with injuries. She had to get ankle surgery before her sophomore season, then suffered from a knee injury during her sophomore year. Just a month into her sophomore season, she was dribbling the ball up the court and she injured her knee and had to be carried off the court. UConn struggled without her, but she was able to return later in the season, and she was on a minutes restriction and couldn't really help her team, but they ended up making it to the Elite Eight, which showed how heroic and clutch she was. By the Elite Eight, she was back to her best, leading UConn back to the Final Four, but they ended up falling to South Carolina. For her junior season, she tore her ACL during a pickup game, leaving her out for her entire junior season and giving her an extra year of eligibility. Then last year, Paige Buckets was officially back, and she led UConn to the Final Four again, where they lost to Iowa, but I don't think that this was their fault. The refs they wanted Caitlin Clark to get that championship, let me tell you. But instead of going to the WNBA draft, where she would have been a top 3 pick, Paige decided to stay in UConn for one last go around, hopefully to bring a championship to her team. And we're seeing that play out right now, and I really hope she gets it. Oh, and don't get it twisted. She's also getting paid, honey. Sports Illustrated reported that in the first 18 months of the NIL rules changing, Paige Bueckers made $824,000. So whether you catch her front row at Fashion Week, or at a football game in LA and then at class the next morning, or playing on her iPad because she's known as her team's resident iPad kid, that basketball court gonna always come first. And honestly, we're lucky to witness it.
So that was Maria Rose setting the record straight about Paige Bueckers' impact, pretty much how far she came. I want you guys to get down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts about this. Keep them bills on, because I'm going to bring you the news. And until next time, dog, shake the haters off. I'm out of here, baby. Peace out. Shake